Now, up to this point, I mean, you're 91 years old. Is that correct?
Right.
Okay, so you're 91 years old. We are surrounded by this just archive of entrepreneurial success here. We've got pictures of you with President Clinton. We've got letters from President Reagan. I mean, there's so many. It's probably hard to even answer this question. But up to this point, what have been some of your biggest or I guess proudest business achievements up to this point?
I do think my proudest achievement was very unheralded. It was the being on a trade mission for the U.S. government and being appointed to that trade mission by President Reagan. And at that time, there was a very difficult time we were having. We could not sell American merchandise in Japan for many different reasons, but mainly the Japanese were blocking it as well. But we went to Japan, we met with the highest level people. We would wine and dine, it was wonderful. And I love the Japanese culture. But I found the crux of the problem is the Japanese, and I remember sitting in a room with the president of Sony and the president of Mitsubishi.
Wow.
And them saying, we can all do great, we have to respect the traditions of the other country. And I said, that's very good. He says, well, here's the point. You people, meaning Americans, invent everything. I mean, you're great inventors. You're great creators of new merchandise. We're the greatest manufacturers. So way back then in 1985, I think it was, he was telling me we should be the software and they should be the hardware.
Oh, wow.
Which I thought was great. And I said, and I made a mention about making a deal. And the president of Mitsubishi says, that's the problem we have with Americans. You come over here to make a deal. We come to establish a relationship. And from that relationship springs many deals. Although that was one of the wisest words I heard, because it's true. It's true. Everything starts with a relationship.
Well, let me give a little context to the Thrivers watching who might not know this. But when President Reagan asked you to serve on this trade mission to Japan, there was 9 people total that were selected, right?
I think there was somewhere there. Yeah.
And you weren't a political homer. I mean, you weren't you weren't going to the $1,000 a plate Republican dinners. You weren't, putting Ronald Reagan posters on the top of your house. You weren't doing that. I mean, you were you're just a business guy who had some success, and out of all the people on the planet they could have chosen, they chose you and a team of less than a dozen, and you were on that team. Did that just feel unbelievable when you received that letter?
I felt wonderful. I felt wonderful, particularly, I'll complete the heresy all the way. I was a Democrat.
Really? So you were over here on the left side of the field.
Right. No, but I had the most experience.
Yeah.
I had been trading with Japan and with China and with Hong Kong for many, many years, and I knew the ropes, and I knew the behind the scenes. One of our missions was to try to get, for example, Toys R Us to have an outlet in Tokyo.
Oh, wow.
And we got it. We actually got it, but you see, their tradition was a certain means of distribution.
Right.
Very paternalistic. It comes through the trading company and the bank, and then the wholesaler, and then the retailer.